I guess in general, this just seems like such an exciting day. And even though it was virtual, it feels like it didn't dampen the mood for either one of you. Can you tell me a little bit about how you're feeling about this experience? And I'll start with Allie.
I'm kind of in shock, to tell you the truth. I'm just glad to see Ryan and Josh and Patrick and sort of feel a little safer than I would have felt, I think, if I were on Hollywood Boulevard right this minute with that scene, because I've only been to it once and it's a little terrifying. So I'm feeling grateful and completely shocked and really happy to see my friends.
And how about you, Ryan?
What took so long? Only 50 years.
One of the things that I was struck by watching the ceremony is that you, Allie, you talked about how joyful it was to make the movie. And I feel like that's something that people really connected with in general. I mean, all those scenes, I kind of rewatched the scenes last night of you playing in the snow, and it did feel very joyful. And so do you think that's part of the magic of your chemistry? And I'll start with Allie.
Well, I mean, I just think we have chemistry. And it was wonderful fun to work together, and we cared for each other. And we were surrounded by supportive, loving people. And I keep having to go back to Arthur Hiller, because he was a remarkable, he knew exactly what he wanted as an actor's director, but he made it all so much fun. And I have nothing negative. I mean, I don't know, maybe Ryan has had different experiences, but I've done very few movies, but I haven't always had anything like that experience. You know, it's been hard or scary, or I felt inadequate or whatever. And every day was just wonderful for me.
Would you agree with that, Ryan? Is that how you felt?
Absolutely, absolutely. I let Allie do my talking for me.
I'm curious, when was the last time you actually watched the movie, like from beginning to end? Has it been a lot of years, or do you kind of watch it if it's on TV? Do you stop?
I watched it last night.
Sorry?
Say it again, Ryan? Go ahead, Ryan.
I watched the first 10 minutes last night, and I brought it all back. Yeah. Except I was so much younger.
I haven't seen it in years. I can't stand to watch myself on film. So if I could block out that side of it, I might be able to watch it more often.
Can you explain a little bit, you started to get into it, that you maybe feel a little bit differently about the tagline, love means never having to say you're sorry. You've rethought that over these years?
Me, yes. Here's the thing.
Yes, Allie, yes.
Right. What I believe is, if you really love someone and you hurt them, you need to try not to do it that way again. And oops, I'm sorry doesn't always cut it. And I think I've hurt enough people that I know what I'm saying.
Both of you have had, done theater, done other films and television. Is this something, though, that you would say that you're most proud of? And I'll start with you, Ryan.
The film or the Walk of Fame?
Well, let's start with the film.
Oh, the film. Sure, I'm proud of it. Sure, it's memorable. Who knew? Who knew? We were just, actors in a film we had no idea it would carry for so long. I'm quite proud of that fact for both of us. We lived to see it.
Well, that's also, what I was going to go into is that it has lasted so long. It's still powerful for people to see it after all these years. And it must have been, you both were sort of, I'm sure everybody was sort of shocked by the phenomenon of it. And you kind of went through it together. Was that a bonding experience because how the movie exploded? Do you look back on that time and that's sort of part of your bond, is that you had to go through that together? Allie?
No, I think we bonded right away. I don't think that, surviving the tsunami that it was, of course that was going to be a together thing too. But I'll tell you what's been really amazing for me. I've traveled a lot to faraway places like India and Africa. I've traveled to places where they don't speak English, where there's no way that the soundtrack could have been understood, you know? And over again, these many decades, somebody or more than one somebody comes up to me and says, gosh, you were in Love Story. And why isn't there another love story? You know, it's because it's kind of amazing to me. I don't understand it, but that film seems to work in languages where they don't understand what we're saying. That's been my experience.
That's beautiful.
In New York, I was walking down the street one night, Madison. This man was following me, this sort of swarthy, dark man was following me. I stopped, he stopped, I kept going, he kept going. Finally, I just waited for him. And he came up to me and he said, I've been following you. And I said, yeah, I noticed. He said, I know who you are. I said, who am I? He said, you're Ali MacGraw. And when I explained who I was, he said, oh, in my country, Ali is a man's name.
That's hilarious. Ryan, I discovered a little detail in my research that you had actually not seen snow before you filmed those crazy scenes. Is that true? And can you explain that a little?
Wait a minute. I saw it from a distance at the beach. But I had never done angels or anything like that, or, you know, built snowmen. No.
So that was a new experience for you.
Listen, it all was a new experience for me. I was in over my head with joy.
Can I ask each of you, what is your favorite scene?
Oh.
First.
They were all my favorite scenes. They were. I couldn't wait to get up in the morning and go to work, which is rare. I just couldn't wait to get near her. She's magical. She's magical. Still is.
Go ahead, Ali.
I'm just touched.
It's true.
You know, I'm terrified in front of a camera, just petrified. So as much as Arthur and especially Ryan would work to make me feel comfortable enough to do what I was not trained to do, my favorite scenes were the ones with no dialogue, which Francis Lay's incredible music is laid over. But the freedom, which I don't think a skilled actor would say this, but I was not a skilled actor. And so just to go to work and feel everything and not worry about hitting a mark or forgetting a line or coming in, that was my favorite time. Even if I did have to teach Ryan how to make snow angels, it was worth it.
There was a moment when I thought maybe we're in a good movie. And that was when she was lying in the hospital. And I came in and we had this scene together. And I felt she was going to die. I really felt she was going to die. My heart was broken, was absolutely broken. And because it was the last scene in the movie, you know, it was the last scene. She went her way and I went mine, and it was as if she was gone. It still hurts.
That's beautiful. I wanted to ask you, you know, for lay people like me, we don't know what it's like to be in a movie that then has this sort of cultural touchstone that everybody knows, that everybody remembers. How does it feel to you to be a part of that when you think about it? Either one can start. I
try not to think about it, actually.
Yeah.
Although there's a lot of Ryans out there that weren't around before we did the movie. So I guess they had.
And Jennifers. There are no Alleys, but there are a lot of Jennifers.
Yeah. So we made an impression. I'm sure there's a few babies too. Yes. We're all 50 now.
I don't think about the phenomenon, but I can't forget any of the experience. And that's amazing because there are, you know, other experiences working, which I've blocked out pretty much. And this one is still fresh. And also, I just want to say that we got to work in New York in the great days of New York and in Boston and Cambridge. And although I guess that maybe some people wouldn't care about that, these are two of my favorite places in the world, and they were all the more special because we were working, you know, on scenes that we loved there.
I feel the same way. I live in New Jersey. I'm a suburb of New York, and I went to school in Boston. So it had special meaning to me personally as well. Well, what a treat and an honor to speak to both of you. I just real quickly, I know that you're both very involved in, well, Ryan, I wanted to ask you what it meant to have the star be so close to Farah's star.
Who? No. It's wonderful. I don't know how they did that. They had to move people around to get us close, but I miss her too.
I'm sure she would have loved this day.
I'm sure she would. I just told our son that I'm getting my star today, and he was thrilled for me. Really, Dad? I said, yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It's really a thrill, and you know, you've inspired me to watch it many more times now. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
Enjoy it.
Thank you very, very much. Have a healthy, calm, wonderful day.
Thank you. You're in New Mexico. That's easier where you are.
Yes,
Love that
it
place.
is. Yes, it is.
Thank you so much.
Bye.